Um, can you not believe this fucking fiasco that
Yeah.
we're having?
All right,
Shit, I
guys,
mean,
we're live. I don't know who's all gonna join, but it came out of nowhere. But it's me here in Elite Edgar, whatever avatar he is this week, talking
I'm sick of
wrestling.
it, dude. Dude, when you see my Iron Man picture just crossing his arms, you know shit is going down.
Hey, good.
I'll just say that. I mean, for me, I'm just gonna say this: Tony Khan made the best decision, and the only thing I would dare say now is, for Thunder Rosa, I don't think she should come back. I think she should just retire because at this point, if you're uncertain to come back, you might as well retire if that was the case because this is you don't know your spot is going to be taken,
Yeah,
and then when it does, you're just going to be like, well, what the fuck am I doing here then? I mean, you're going to have to do work all over, and it's just like it's really kind of stupid, but it's just the truth. And
yeah.
you know, people,
DFG, we acknowledge you. We were on Elite's channel talking about the AEW Women's Division, which is very interesting.
dude, I'm like, first, what's her? I forget her name. Shit, I had a little bit of the hots of her, and I'm like, damn, she's really getting up there. She's getting really not only but also when
Speaking of,
I go on.
speaking of having the hots for somebody, I just checked my Twitter, and Cassie Lee just read one of my comments. Which, yeah,
I mean, you get those, and you know, I mean, like, there's always great, but I mean, like, I forget her name. God damn it. Someone help me. Who's
yeah,
the champ that we have now? I mean, I'm just like, yeah, you deserved it. I mean, I personally feel like after last night, I fucking wouldn't be surprised something happens to where
yeah.
she gets the reins of women's champion, and I think Tony Schiavone, I think I'm saying her name right. She did what she could, but to me, this is her the champ that we have now. This is her time, and I really feel like we're getting up there really great. Slowly, but I mean that's just me. Just
Yeah.
but how do you feel all this shithole?
They just, I don't know if it's the booking or if it's just not the chemistry hitting, but I agree with you with the Thunder Rosa stuff. Like because like when I started watching AEW, one of the women wrestlers that really got me and I thought they really were building her good, and that was Hikaru Shida. And
Oh
I was
yeah,
just such a huge fan and thought she was amazing. And then when they did the vignettes where it felt a little more TNA, where there's just backstage and they made her look like a badass, and I'm like, oh yeah, this is cool.
oh yeah, and that's something that really was great about her, and when you have her just absolutely being dominant, and the moment she showed up, it was like, fuck this girl that. Oh, I'm sorry to say this. Fuck this bitch who really. I mean, they're trying to make her look good, but she's just fall flat for me. And when she became, I forget, Rio, I think that's her name. Um,
Yeah, when Rio first, I was just like, ugh.
I'm like, they tried out of all the girls, which I clap my hands on all of them. They made her to be this undeniable, this badass woman that I'm just like, she really just fails at. Her gimmick doesn't really work. Maybe it
Yeah,
works outside of the U.S., but it does not get in. It does not work. It does not work on.
I couldn't get into Riho. It's just like there was nothing there. And
Yeah,
then her she freaking beats Nyla Rose and becomes the first AEW Women's Champion. I'm just like, I just couldn't get into it because, like, okay, here in America, you look at a legit fight, Nyla Rose would have destroyed that girl for breakfast. Like,
oh, yeah. I think a lot of wrestlers from Nyla Rose or any wrestler from WWE or the wrestlers that we think are qualified to be champions. I mean, that's something great. I think she was given, and this is the only 2 times AEW has done this, and I can't stand that shit. I really can't. It hurts the title. It hurts that title a lot.
Yeah.
It'd be the only. I feel like AEW, Tony Khan or Kenny Omega gives the title to that person because they want that person to be champion.
It's like, yeah.
You could see it a mile away coming, and she doesn't really gives you that vibe of, yeah, I worked hard to get it. No, yeah. you were given that title because of fanfare in the back, and it's just, it does not work on me.
Yeah, like with Shida, they built her up over time, and like me being a huge Final Fantasy VII fan, and her using some of the Tifa gimmick stuff, it's like it was kind of cool. But then her storylines, that was like, okay, so she did the supernatural stuff with freaking Abaddon, and then how is she going to beat Nyla Rose when she won the title? And like, she didn't even use a finish. She just started kicking the shit out of Nyla Rose and kicked her so bad that she knocked her out, and then she won. And it's like, okay, that's smart. Like, so Shida having to be the smart babyface and outsmart her opponent, I was like, oh, I like that.
And you know, honestly, I mean, for me, I mean, when I look at, you know, Oshida or Dr. Britt Baker, oh my God, her run. And a lot of people say she's like the Charlotte Flair. I'm sorry. There's no comparisons. Yeah, her bitching is sometimes annoying, but she could put out a fucking good match.
Yeah.
And that's something I enjoyed about her run. And I mean, granted, I wouldn't mind her getting a multiple champion runs because, you know, she really gives you that earning factor. And plus, she developed so good because she, in a lot of ways, she was annoying, but in a lot of ways, they just didn't work with the babyface. So the heel turn was a great move.
Britt, when it was just her and Rebel, was fine because it worked. But when they started adding Jamie Hayter added nothing to Britt or the group that Britt was trying to form. And yeah, that's when I stopped liking it because I was like, it never went anywhere.
Yeah, it never did. But when I mean, like, then that's pretty. And this is something a little bit insulting, too. Britt made Thunder Rosa $1 million to be champion, and all of that was wasted. She never really became the champion. Thunder Rosa she got hurt, and she never came back, and it's just like. I mean, if I was Brett, I would be kind of a little bit pissed off. And if Thunder Rosa ever comes back, I'm like, you know, you really don't belong here. You went out of your way, not really working, and we did all this jumble mess to go around this whole situation to keep a women's champion in the run. Meanwhile, Jade Carter made in a lot of ways, Jade Carter made your title look even worse. And when we have a real champion, it says a lot. It just says, it's just, I mean, and plus, I mean, I saw some of the moments where they were trying to do with the Elite and Death Triangle, and I'm like, they're making so much fun of CM Punk. It's not funny.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Anthony says, "How are you guys doing? Happy Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving to you." We're just doing a little wrestling talk.
Well, yeah, we was just chit chatting a little bit.
Yeah, but
I mean,
yeah, it's they had no after freaking Rosa got the title, they had no plan at all, and you could tell with that first big rivalry with her and Serena Deeb, there was no plan at all.
There was no cutout. I think Thunder Rosa is just very hard to deal with.
Yeah.
Or Tony Khan really saw nothing there for her as a champion, because this is something I noticed, and you guys pointed out on the whole situation on Tony Khan. Tony Khan is so hooked on the men's division and Ring of Honor that he really puts an afterthought of the women's division a lot of times.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to see it at first because I didn't think it was that bad. But now I see like, oh boy, yes. But when it comes time to certain wrestlers, oh yeah, I mean, like, it's all there.
There was the one guy in that whole thing that cared about the women's division was Kenny, and then Kenny got injured, and then Cody and Brandy left, so I think they just didn't know what to do after that.
Yeah, that's something that definitely hurt. I mean, when Cody definitely is one of the reasons why AEW got hurt, and this is something I have a bit of a grudge on him a little bit, and I'm like, you fucking bastard. I mean, granted, I'm like, he's doing great. I mean, I hope he takes down Roman Reigns, but I mean, like,
it's gonna happen.
Oh, dude, it needs to happen. It's either him or fucking Bray Wyatt. I mean, shit.
Yeah, it's one of the two. Cody's my guy.
I mean, shit. I mean, when you have him return, holy shit! Everybody was like, yes, and it was fucking great. It was awesome.
It was like when he came back to WWE, I didn't know it was gonna happen, but I'm like, I'm interested to see how this crowd, and I don't give a shit what anybody says, it's a different demographic, like straight up. I want to see how this crowd is going to receive him. And I was shocked at first because I didn't know I wanted it to go over, but I didn't know it was like that. And it's like everybody still being huge Dusty fans, and then the fans who were fans of Cody that knew he got treated wrong in WWE. He comes back, and he comes back to Kingdom, and like letting him use that creative, and Cody's amazing creative, to be able to do that. Yeah, there have been some instances where Cody's fumbled, but like Darby Allin, that was Cody's big project.
Darby really, like I'll say this, Darby has done a lot of matches to put over people. And I really like him a lot. I really hope eventually he becomes an AEW champion. That's something I'm like, he's been so loyal to you, to Tony. You gotta give him a title, a run. But TNT, like, no, he's done his TNT run. Those days are long over. We need to give this guy world champion. Another one that I really am hoping for, which we dodged a bullet there. And that was Malachi Black, which I'm like, okay, now is the time to have Malachi Black and the House of Black be Treeway titles. I want that. I want that so bad. I could fucking taste it. That shit would be, and that's something I really want them to do, because it really would bring such bigger direction going forward. But hey, I mean, what more can I say? I mean, like, I'm just a fan, but I just think that it would be a very good direction overall.
Yeah.
But I mean, but how would you feel about all this thing? I mean,
I've never been the biggest fan in the world about the trio titles. It's just from what I saw on ROH, it was okay, but like, I guess I could get into it over time. I like the House of Black though. Like, I just like them as a group. It's just like Okay, so they put these. I think they put the trio titles on freaking the Elite.
No, they're going to have the best of 7 matches.
Okay.
And then the last one, I'm guessing that's going to be where, all right, that's where it all goes to them
Yeah.
on that whole thing. But I mean, I think they're going to lose like 1 or 2, and they're going to get that whole thing. I mean, granted, you could see them already going to get those titles back, but it's just, it really kind of sets you up on that whole factor of like, yep, we kind of knew this was going to happen again.
Yeah.
Because I mean, like, I'm still pissed off at CM Punk. I'm like, you really fucking blew it. I mean, there's no way of getting around it. You fucking
Yeah.
blew it.
It's
And
just like, yeah, when it comes to those trio groups and everything, the one person I didn't know I was gonna miss as much as I did is freaking Adam Cole. Like, because I was I'm a
dude.
huge UE fan in NXT. Like,
Oh, dude, I feel so. I really feel sorry for Adam Cole. His career's done. I
yeah,
mean,
it freaking sucks, dude.
I mean, like here, seeing that whole thing of like, I've looked everywhere. I've literally like, is he coming back? I would be fucking. I'm a little pissed off if he's not coming back, because it's gonna get to a point where I'm like, where the fuck is he? Where is this guy? It's almost like he's an afterthought. And they set up the storyline between the Elite and him, and nothing came. And he really, it's just that I hate that shit. And this is something I seen AEW is having trouble on, is they set up storylines and they just never come fruition because the wrestler is hurt, and it's just just it really kind of kills everything, and it really kind of makes, what was the whole point then? Fuck.
Yeah, it's like they get momentum and you have something special. And going back to the women's division, you could have had a good 6-month rivalry with Sheeta and Britt Baker.
Oh God, yeah.
And then you just drop it.
Yeah, that's something that I definitely was a little bit seeing. But one thing that really kind of said a lot, and this is something that I literally said this, like, I mean, for me, this is just what I say. I think Jay Carter should challenge Brett on the TBS title, because I just think that she's got no one else to work with. She's built up herself to be this undeniable force. I'm like, we need to have her face someone that she's never really pushed herself. And the only 2 people I can think of is Kashida and Brett. I mean, those are the ones that really push her. Now, granted, the champ herself could be a really good consideration as well, but I mean, it's just that there's so much that I see with AEW, and they have a little tough year right now, and it's slowly going back to where it used to be. But with the whole thing of yours truly, Triple H coming in to do WWE creative, and you have Cody coming in, it really kind of, let's just say, it really kind of stings.
Yeah,
on.
It's also tough because I was never this huge pro WWE guy. I just like watching cool wrestling shows. So, and it's like every time Triple H is giving me, "Ooh, I want that." Like a big instance of that was when he brought back Gallows and Anderson. Everybody said, "Oh, they're never going back." Even me and Nate debated on this channel about where they go. Oh, they're never going back. I'm like, oh, if they came back, I'm like, AJ's got an ear to Triple H now. So freaking, if they come back, and then when they came back, oh my God, fire. It was so cool. And then they brought Mia Yim in, and I was like, what? Like I did not expect that. So it's been cool, and I like the AJ and Gallows and Anderson were always my favorite part of the Bullet Club. So like seeing them together again is just freaking awesome.
Oh yeah, and what also is awesome, I mean, you have it where the commentary is a lot better. I've watched the recent I watched the recent show on Raw, and I'm like, it was AJ Styles and I forgot some. I think it was. I forgot the name of the wrestler. He's with the Bloodline now.
What?
I forgot the name of the blood. I forgot the name of the guy. He's got this curly hair, orange haired fucking
Sami
guy.
Zayn?
Yeah, Sammy. Yeah, Sammy. Sammy. I'm not gonna lie. Sammy's a pretty good wrestler. I mean, there was some moments I was on the edge of my seat. I'm like,
oh yeah.
oh.
When Sammy's motivated, when he's motivated to put on a good match, when he's got something to work with, he's great.
I mean, it was a very entertaining match. You seen AJ Styles really push him, and it was really great. And I forgot the name, the other guy that was with Sammy.
Solo Sikoa?
Yeah. He's literally there watching, and they're just teasing him with AJ Styles, and I'm just like, ooh, I might just watch that just for curiosity, because that they give you. This is the thing about what I love about wrestling. They give you that those eyes. When you see those, like, it's kind of like a predator getting its prey. When you see the predator locks in his prey, it is
Antonio.
gone. He's gone, and it's literally that, and it's so good to see that. And for me, when I see that stuff, it just makes me kind of like, oh man, this is just fucking phenomenal. And I mean, like, I'm just like, maybe I should reconsider. But yet again, I do look at a lot of things from AEW and WWE, and I'm like, I'm glad. I mean, it's getting a lot better, but I'm like, let's just push it a little bit further, and maybe I might reconsider watching WWE. But I mean, like, for me, and granted, Triple H has definitely considered the opening of the door of New Japan Pro Wrestling. And I'm just like, oh, if we get something like New Japan Pro Wrestling with WWE, I don't know what's that mean for AEW. I mean, does that mean AEW can come in with WWE? I mean, like, that's the biggest question mark. And I think that's going to be like, will Tony Khan will allow that, or he just cuts all ties with New Japan? I mean, that's something
TK has to be more open to ideas and work with other people, because when it came to the elite stuff and when he took the power away from the VPs, that was pretty much him saying his ideas come first. Like, but if he's willing to work with people, it could happen.
Well, I think I think he just took their writer's chair. The elites still have their EVPs. It's just like, I think it's just more of running the business now, like them just running it. And maybe that's just the case. Granted, maybe some of them may just not have time. They're probably hurt or probably doing something. I know Dusty. I heard stories where Dusty was trying to book stuff, and he was doing wrestling matches, and he just doesn't have the time for it. He's doing this, he's doing that, and he's just like, I got to be one thing or the other, and that's just how it is.
And did MJF finally become world champ?
Yeah, he did. He got the.
Says, Josh, what do you think about MJF finally becoming world champ Sunday? That's cool. My whole thing is, for me in AEW, the top rivalry was MJF and Darby. I'm like, that's like Orton, Cena, Stone Cold Taker, you name it. Like, I think you could really do something with that.
Let's start off with Jungle Boy, then work our way down with Darby. Granted, if Adam Cole was not hurt, he would be my first number one. Number one. I want that match. Adam Cole versus MJF. Bang bang. Let's go. Oh man, the fucking shots would go off. You could imagine how much MJF would go push Adam Cole's buttons off of his girlfriend, how much he's too much, like how much MJF says that I'm better than your girlfriend could ever will be. And oh my god, that could.
Oh
that could,
yeah, that's right. Okay, I was like, why does he want Adam Cole versus MJF? But MJF made those freaking shots, and freaking Adam Cole was pissed. So yeah,
dude, I mean, like when I heard that, I'm like, we need to have the match. And the fact that's not happening, I'm like, fuck, dude. I'm still a little pissed.
Oh my god, yeah, that would. And then
that would have been great.
Promos. Oh my god,
the promos would be great, and that's why I'm telling you, like the promos would be fire because MJF would go on rants on Adam Cole and saying he's sick and tired of having the comparison of your girlfriend to me. I'm better than her, and you know it, and that could piss off Adam Cole so much.
Yeah, and then Adam Cole could take shots too. Because MJF was an extra in NXT and WWE, and Adam Cole was actually a star.
Oh man, that would have been great. I would have been busted up laughing. I'm like, I'm done. I can't. This is comedy gold. I love this shit. It would be great. It would have been awesome. It would have been hell. It would have topped the whole promos with CM Punk with MJF. It would have been fire.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that would have been just such a fucking bitchin'. And the facts are that didn't happen. That didn't happen, and it's just it's a crime and a shame, and it kind of makes it a little difficult. Like, I mean, like I could only bring a handful of people that might be good enough to face MJF. I mean, Malachi Black is one. I want him to be champion, TNT or AEW World Champion. Sammy would be really cool. Sammy Guevara. I mean, just he wants to be champion. I mean, I don't see it.
Yeah,
I don't see why not.
Anything in Sammy, boy, it's just like.
I mean, if you want a guy that literally could push MJF through his buttons, I think it would be really good. But I mean, I just that's the biggest problem with MJF. Is I feel like his story is kind of tarnished a little bit as champion. Now, granted, his whole promo in the backstage back really kind of gave me 80s wrestling, where a wrestler just absolutely goes nuts. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't know. I'm actually looking forward to it. I mean, we'll see how things go. I mean, I'm just the one part I'm literally wondering is MJF's little group gonna try to get him? That might be the first storyline.
Does he have a group?
Well, his group kind of turn on him.
Yeah, I thought the Pinnacle split up.
No, it's this new group.
Yeah, I've been out of it with AEW for a little bit, so yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, there was this group that he was a part of, and Regal. There was a okay. Regal's working with MJF.
Oh, okay.
And there was a point to where, forget the manager that was with Jade for a time is a part of this, and he's really the leader of the group, and he orders MJF to attack Moxley, and he was hesitant. He really don't even want to do it. And he outright was saying, no, this is my fight. This is my rules. I do what I want. And let's just put it in better terms, they didn't like what they were hearing, so they attacked him and they absolutely body slammed him.
Oh shit!
In a lot, it got
okay,
real.
that makes sense because I saw a clip from AEW earlier that it said Moxley demands answers from Regal. I'm like, okay,
yeah, and I love the part where Regal and MJF conversations. Oh my god, it was actually really great. I really like the fact that they put realistic storylines where they bring history where, oh yeah, you were a talent but really weren't that great in a lot of ways. You weren't believable to be a part of WWE. And MJF really has a little bit of a grudge. Now it seems like they're going forward. I don't know what this is why I haven't watched the recent show on AEW, and I'm definitely curiosity. I wonder what's going to happen to the Combat Club. Are they going to break up? Are they going to stick together? I mean, where do we go from here? I mean, your fucking leader just backstab you all. That's going to be real fun.
Yeah, but, I never really got into the Combat Club because they had people in that group that I wasn't believing.
I mean, Brian was still just. I still just feel like, what the fuck is Tony Khan? Literally, like,
yeah, like
why is this guy?
Brian's a wrestler, but if you're saying Combat Club, I'm thinking fighters. So Moxley fits into that, but I don't know how well Brian does. And as we've seen in the past, he doesn't exactly work that well in groups.
Yeah, that's true. But I mean, like for me, just going off what I'm literally saying. I mean, when I'm looking at all this stuff, I'm just like, this really just doesn't make any sense to me as a fan who really like, okay, if we're gonna have this whole storyline where the Combat Club loses their leader, I mean, where does this go? I mean, and when I look at Brian, I'm like, Brian is something to where I'm like, this man should have been AEW World Champion. For crying out loud. He was so fucking close. I was like, I'm not watching any spoilers. I was on my seat, literally rooting for this guy. And it's like so close. We're literally touching it. Come on. We were just a little bit more. And he doesn't win. Not once, but now twice. And it's just like, I swear to God, I will be pissed off. And when he retires, when his contract is up and he is done with wrestling, I'm going to be pissed when he doesn't get the AEW title, for at least for once. I just, it's almost a crime, a slap in the face. And I'm like, why the fuck are we having this guy here week after week after week? And he just like, it's granted, maybe that's the end game. Maybe that's the guy that will beat MJF. Maybe that's the guy that literally will beat him. I mean, how would you feel with a Bryan Danielson versus MJF match in a pay-per-view? Pay-per-view.
You're gonna have to get like old Yes Movement Daniel Bryan back, pretty much, for that, because you're gonna have to get that top good guy. Like, if you can get that out of Bryan, yeah, like. I always thought when he came in, it was to put other talent over. I never thought that they were going to give him the world title.
You never? I did. I actually
because his whole thing in signing with AEW is so he could work Japan,
and he never got that opportunity.
Yeah, like he.
I mean, granted,
that's why he left. He straight up said that's why he left WWE. It's because he would go with the first organization that got him to work with Japan, New Japan.
Maybe Forbidden Door 2 will have that. I want him to wrestle Okada. That's something I'm like.
Oh yes.
I mean,
you guys who don't know, I'm a huge freaking Okada fan.
I'll say this: Okada is definitely a good wrestler. I mean, I mean, just put him in a big stadium. Oh God, he could sell out a crowd. I mean, I'm a little surprised that WWE never signed him. I'm like, with that type
Yeah.
of status, I mean, like, why wouldn't you sign him? I mean, it's almost like a bit of a what the fuck moment. I mean, like this. I mean, if I was Tony Khan, I would give this man the world. But I mean, like,
Like
granted,
I want a OG chaos reunion between him and Nakamura. Like so freaking bad.
Oh yeah, I saw the AEW, not AEW, New Japan history on those two. Oh man, yes, I do definitely agree. Saw those matches. I'm like, fuck, that's just insane.
Yeah.
But also a little bit like I saw Kenny doing a bit of a promo that he's going Wrestle Kingdom 17, and he's gonna wrestle Will and Regal, or what the fuck his name is.
Wheeler Yuta,
yeah. I heard he's a really good wrestler. I mean, he's good. I mean, for me, I'm just like, I just don't know where it really goes forward for him, because I want Kenny to be back to being champion again, but it's just like people want him to be in WWE, and I just feel like that would be the death of AEW, if you ask me. I feel like AEW is just, he's a part of that elite. He made that company, and it's just like, if he leaves and goes to the other fucking side, that he kills the company.
Will Yuta's not bad. I like him better than Austin Theory, I'll tell you what. But
Austin Theory. Oh God, I'm sorry that
dude.
That okay, Austin Theory. Let's talk about that fucking guy for a minute. I've seen this guy, and I'm just like, so this is the last Vince McMahon project, the last Vince McMahon guy that he did before he retired, or he was forced to retire, should I say? I have my own conspiracy theories, because I mean, like, I have my little theory of they throw some dirt on Vince. Something happened in the back to a point where it was out of control. Fucking get rid of him. Do whatever it's necessary. Like the whole fiasco with Disney, where Disney fired the CEO, and they brought back the guy who was the CEO of Disney, and he wants to fucking sell Disney to fucking Apple, for crying out loud.
Shit.
Yeah, no, and I'm like, oh dear God, hell no. I don't want to have that same situation that we're having with DC with Marvel. Holy shit, I would lose it. But I mean, but besides all that stuff, I mean, I think that Austin Theory is not that talented, at all. I mean, if he can't go toe to toe with Roman, forget about it. I mean, if you're not going to hit to the big leagues, you don't deserve it. And that championship, you were given that title. Just like Thunder Rosa was given that title because Tony Khan is a humongous fan of her, and he thought some great shit, but when it come time to booking her, they really never really had anything with her, and they never really had anything with Austin Theory, or Theory, because Austin's with Stone Cold Steve Austin. I'm like, so fucking stupid. People know there's a difference between Stone Cold Steve Austin and Austin Theory. I mean, that's like me saying Spidey over Spider-Man. Are you fucking stupid? I mean, seriously.
Yeah.
Whatever.
The thing with Theory is, like, look at all your champions right now. This Theory doesn't stand a chance, okay? You got Seth Rollins with the U.S. title. You got freaking Walter with the Intercontinental title. And then you got freaking Roman in the Bloodline with the rest of the belts. So it's like, he doesn't stand a chance against any of them guys.
And yeah, and it makes him even a tiny, tiny, tiny ant that is just going to be a forgotten wrestler. And that sucks, but that's part of the business. It reminds me of another wrestler that I really like, and named Scorpio Sky, where a wrestler like him
Yeah.
was just holding the belt, and we were all, when his first title defense happened and he was defending the title and going forward, he ended it because yours truly, Warlow, came along. And I'm just, I shake my head every time, and I'm like, this sucks. And Warlord, he did an okay job with the TNT title. Now you're in a situation, you're in a sticky situation where, okay, you got, what's this? I forget his, I'm tired of these. I really need to get better. I really need to better remember these fucking names. I'm so sorry. I'm like, fuck, oh shit. Fuck. Well, the champion who's the TNT Ring of Honor, the champion of the Ring of Honor TV title. Fuck. God damn it. Fuck. I'm gonna have to type his ass name. Fuck.
Miro?
Miro. Yeah, I think no, not Miro.
No, it wasn't Miro.
It's one of he was the last NXT before he was the last NXT champion before they relaunched NXT 2.0.
Dang, I'm trying to remember.
It was the guy. He was the guy that pushed MJF.
Samoa Joe.
Yeah, Samoa Joe. Forgot the.
Oh,
okay. Yeah, Samoa Joe. Like, I mean, he was the guy that pushed MJF. Shit. Oh man, how would you? Oh God. Oh, how would you feel?
There's a lot of wrestlers in the world. It's okay.
I mean, how would you feel if MJF and Samoa Joe had a match? Oh boy, oh man,
that would be good. Yeah, that would be good.
I mean, no, like, it doesn't matter. No, you can have where no title shot. This is just a match just between of them, just settling a beef. Oh man, oh, that's just gonna be great. That would just be fire. I mean, seriously.
Because I've seen MJF when he pretends to be scared of people. Him freaking weaseling his way out of a match with Samoa Joe would be funny.
It would be funny. It would be funny to have that whole match going forward. I mean, shit, for crying out loud. I mean, you would have the biggest fucking shit. The hype train for me would go flaming hot. Because I'm like, oh God, I'm so hoping we get this. And granted, I mean, now it's like he's not only the Ring of Honor champion for the TV title, but also the TNT title. So he's going to be on both shows. So I just keep on saying this. Is Ring of Honor the SmackDown of AEW? Because
it might be.
It's not going to be Rampage. It's just not.
From what I heard, and this is what Nate told me, they've really been focusing on Ring of Honor even more than AEW itself.
Oh wow, that actually says a lot. I mean, I'll just say this: if when episode 1 comes of Ring of Honor, the Tony Khan AEW era starts, I'm gonna say, I told you all this before, and I'm telling you all now. This shit is going to be the SmackDown of AEW. And honestly, it's just, I'm looking forward to it. But I mean, like, once Ring of Honor is fully established, we need to make AEW fully even greater, because now you got 3 shows to book. You need to have crossover storylines. You need to have all this shit going forward just to make a share universe going forward. Because when you look at all this stuff, Rampage is just filler time. That's all I'm going to say. AEW Dark is not really taking it seriously, because I would rather have that to be on TV than on YouTube. And I'm sorry, that's just how the case is. And I feel like if we're having like Mondays with Raw, I'm like, why can't we do the same with Dark and Ring of Honor going forward. But yet again, we might have another AEW show. How would you feel all women AEW show? I think that would just be overkill for me.
Not like okay, space it out, right? I could get into it, and you could give these characters time to develop, because the thing is,
really,
they'll come off of main TV, and then you don't know what the hell they've been doing. Like there was a period of time where Sheeta wasn't on main TV for months.
Oh yeah,
and you didn't know what the hell happened to her.
Oh, so you're saying if we have it where it's like four, okay. You know what? I like that idea. That actually really is a good idea, and that's a really good going forward. I really think that, you know what? Yeah, actually, you really kind of made a good point. It kind of made me look dumb for a bit. I actually agree with that idea, because if you go do that whole thing, we can actually have the women's division to grow a lot more.
Yeah,
and you can go forward with all that storylines to where you could have Akashida showing up and one show, and then she shows up in Dynamite or Rampage and Jade or Brad or any other star.
So like in TNA's heyday, they used to do this thing called One Night Only. And it was a all women's TNA pay-per-view. But what they used to do, they would build it, and when they were building up to it, so they would showcase a couple of the matches they want to do the pay-per-view. So you would see freaking Velvet Sky versus Tara in a freaking on a TNA Impact, or you would showcase once a week all these different matches they wanted to do, but you didn't overexpose it. So when it came to the pay-per-view, you had the build and you had the hype, and people tune in and watch the pay-per-view.
You had the storyline already there, and now that's something I definitely would agree. And granted, that's something I really want for AEW to do, because the women's division sometimes feel like an afterthought. I mean, it's because if it's not Jade or Brett or Kashida or somebody that's a fan favorite, forget about it. It's like a whatever match, and granted, it's just like we should. I mean, like I like this. I like the. I've been watching some Dark episodes, and I like the wrestler Sky Blue. I think she has such a potential to be really great. It's just that when she's on TV, she's spot on great. But when she's not, she's literally, you don't even know she's still in the company. It's that bad.
It's like what really pissed me off about AEW's women division is, and me being an old NXT fan, freaking when they were building up Jade Cargill versus Marina Shafir, they literally treated Leva Bates like an afterthought. Leva Bates was one of the most over gimmicks, even though it was shit. It was one of the most over gimmicks in NXT as Blue Pants. And like in the early days of NXT, that shit was over. And she left there to do the librarian gimmick in AEW. And they talked about her like she was a fucking jobber. And I was like, Leva Bates is amazing.
And granted, when I literally see all that, I remember I saw her a lot of times promoting it. They were promoting her to be one of the big faces of AEW, and I don't even know if she's still in the company. Is she? I mean, like, just mine ass. Oh, okay.
She's there. A lot of times you'll see her in the crowd and stuff, because her and the other librarian dude will be arguing. But yeah, they're pretty much treated like freaking
a joke.
Bo Dallas, like the Miztourage. They're treated as jokes. Like
yeah. It really is, and that's some things I can't stand with WWE, who they do that shit with both the men and the women. I get a little very toxic when they do it with the men, because sometimes you may have a really good star and they don't even fucking do them right. I'm like, what are we doing? Seriously, what are we fucking doing? I mean, this is not. Who thought this was great? I mean, if you want comedy, make it feel natural. I mean, I watched the old days of Raw and SmackDown. And I mean, when you have even Triple H or even Shawn Michaels, when they throw their jokes, it's believable. You got to make it believable. And the whole factor of like, oh, we got to do this, oh, we got to do that, and it's stupid. It really is. And
yeah, like my wife refuses to watch wrestling now because it's other than the Ronda Rousey segment, she's not into it. But we go back and we watch DX from 06, and she's like, "That was so damn funny."
I mean, for me, what I love about the whole, I laugh when they do the brawling, and it's so like everybody's trying to kick someone's ass, and it's just, to me, it comes across as comical. And I believe this was the whole pandemic type era where Moxley was, believe, champion before he gave it to Kenny Omega. And there was a moment where he was kind of laughing to an extent. He says, "I got nothing to say." And I'm just like, I'm literally just busting up laughing so hard, and I'm just like, I can't stop laughing. This is comical gold. It's really great, and I love that a lot. And with AEW, there's so much potential still there, and I feel like, the whole bullshit with this year is just really hitting them hard. And I blame it on Cody, but I also kind of look at the circumstances that he was in. And in a lot of ways, I'm kind of a little disappointed at Cody. Like, he never really truly shined that I really thought he should have. The whole Nightmare faction really went nowhere land. I mean,
yeah.
I mean,
you could have made it like, the thing was, you should have made it more like the Bloodline.
Yeah.
You should have had the whole factory and all them guys. You should have had select people out of the Rhodes family, and you could have had that group with that. And I think it probably would have been better.
Yeah, I could agree.
Like, you could have had DDP as like their Paul Heyman and kind of like the manager of the group, and that could have been cool.
You could have made Red Velda to be like kind of like the Sasha Banks of AEW, pushing her hard. But and I really liked her a lot, and I really kind of think she deserves to be champion. But I'm like, to me, every time I see her and she's with Jada, I just kind of look at her like, what a waste.
Exactly.
To me, like, she was like, I would say she is really good, or even almost better than Jade. And she's just thrown in the wayside, and it's just like, I can't stand this shit. I mean, granted, I'm kind of grateful they haven't done that with certain other wrestlers, but maybe we should have an all-women wrestling show, because maybe it's just the fact that you have so many good women that are just literally sitting their asses or dealing just dark, to a point where it's like, maybe we should kind of like an all-women fucking show, because it's kind of get to that point. And granted, I mean, I know a certain fellow will be saying, this is only going to kill the women's division, and I'm like,
it's dead.
No. I mean,
it is.
I mean, like, it can't go any worse than here. I mean, shit, for crying out loud.
Yep.
I mean, it can't go any worse than here. I mean, we're already at the bottom. I mean, like, how many more can we go any further? It can't go any bad. And if it gets a great women's show, let's say the women's show is fantastic, I mean, hey, fuck it, I wouldn't mind it. I mean, you push
AEW tries to pride themselves on being the promotion that does things that WWE doesn't. And WWE hasn't done another Evolution pay-per-view, so why not?
Yeah, exactly. That's another thing too. Go do women, just mainly women. That would push. I think that would make WWE to do another all women pay-per-view. I really think they would.
Yeah.
And plus, I mean, it would actually really make them even greater, to where I'm like, I think the way how WWE is, you have a lot of, like, Alexa, she needs to go fucking heel. We need to fucking make that bitch heel so goddamn bad. And I don't care how. I don't know. I don't. In a lot of ways, I don't care how you do it. Just do it. Um, when I see a lot of because they're really pushing hard on SmackDown. SmackDown, I'm not gonna lie, I've seen a lot of clips of it. It is getting realistic. There was even a moment where in Raw where Bobby Lashley and Brock Lesnar were literally going off, and I'm like, oh dear God, this is something I've been begging for WWE to do.
Oh yeah,
And it's if they could make AEW, if they can make AEW push themselves to where, okay, why don't we make a women's show? I think WWE will make it pay-per-views of just the women because they have enough women out there in that locker room to do a pay-per-view, to do storylines, to make that shit go wild. And I feel like it would make great competition, and the wrestling round would fucking be flaming again. It makes them both be better. And I just feel like for them both of them not doing that, it really kind of hurts them both. And this is the whole thing where this is why I don't like listening to Eric Bischoff or Vince Russo or even Jim Cornette, where I'm like, you guys don't want to look at the problems on both companies. You're just shitting on them because, oh, it's not me that's doing it. And
pretty much.
But yeah, anyway, I gotta get going. I gotta go do stuff. Before I let you go, what's your thoughts on the Last of Us TV show that's coming?
I can't wait. Like me and my wife. We love the games, and I'm interested to see how it's gonna go. So, and I like Pedro Pascal from a lot of the stuff that he's done. So I'm excited to see where it goes.
I mean, I'll just say this: he kind of sold me on the emotional aspect on Joel when I saw him in Wonder Woman, and I'm like, oh yeah. I could see that emotional side where he's tarnished and he will do everything that's necessary. And plus, you already know he'll defend Ellie because we already seen him defend Baby Yoda. So, I mean, it's great.
Yeah.
Did you see the trailer of AEW's game or not yet?
Oh, Fight Forever, yeah.
How do you feel? How do you feel that CM Punk's not in the front cover? I think it's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, I never really fully got your opinion on CM Punk as champion. I really loved him as champion. I thought like he's gonna be great. He's gonna make things so great. He's gonna make Vince McMahon and Triple H and everyone that doubted him all chewed up, and it's just honestly
it reminded me of when Daniel Bryan first became undisputed champion, and he was red hot, and then he got in that street fight with Kane, and then he had to relinquish. It was like okay, we got this momentum, it's gonna be great, and then injury just kind of blew off all the steam. Yeah, shot it. So it sucks, but yeah.
Yeah, that kind of set up a lot. But I mean, like for me, I think it's a little personal because now I'm like, when you have the elite making fun of you, you're fucked. You're fucked in hell. Done.
Yeah.
I think Tony Khan really made a piss poor choice making him champion. They should have make him wrestle a lot of the big matches, like have him wrestle Kenny Omega, have him wrestle Darby Allin, or yeah, we already did Darby, Jungle Boy, or the other wrestlers that I really think really deserved it. I wanted that Kenny Omega and CM Punk match so bad, because it would make CM Punk to be like, he's really gonna face the guy that did it all. And No, they're not even close. I mean,
They
honestly, I
should
mean,
have had him. They should have had him overcome all the former champions. So have him against Jericho. Have him against Mox. Like all the
mhm.
former champions that they had, you could have had him. Okay, I got to beat this guy because I want to beat all the former champions to prove that I deserve and I earn this chance to be in the main event. Never happened.
Yeah, yeah, and that's something I really just kind of feel. And what also makes it even worse is he hurt uh, MJF's fucking big return, and I'm just like, that really kind of killed it. I mean, like that kind of killed his career because
Yeah.
now it's like, oh, don't put me in the bag. I'm bad news, and I'm just like, yeah, you are bad news, and it really kind of made me wonder, like, were all those statements in WWE were all true, and I'm starting to believe it, and
Yeah.
I'm just a little disappointed at him. But anyway,
Yeah.
I'll let you go, man. It's been good talking to you, man. I mean,
Same here.
I've been stalling it, but I've been really grateful that I talked to you, man. It's been great. Well, hopefully we'll do this again later. But yeah, I'll see you later, man.
All right. Have a good one, man. All right, guys. That was fun. Let me go through some of these comments if you guys are still here. CFG says, "Hey peeps, hey man, good to see you. I got some good news. Next month I'm gonna get the PS5 back, so we're gonna be back on the video game gameplay, which should be really fun. Uh, so we got that. We celebrated Rachel's birthday. That's why I wasn't on stream today. Got her a bunch of Titanic stuff. She loved it. And then we got Thanksgiving tomorrow. I'm not gonna go traditional Thanksgiving. I'm gonna do like a barbecue Thanksgiving dinner. So we're gonna have like ribs and all kinds of different stuff. So it should be cool. I hope you guys been doing good. I just been busy with work. Not trying to neglect you guys. We finally hit 250 subs. So sometime next week, I would do a stream tomorrow, but you guys are probably gonna be busy with your families and stuff. But we're gonna do a stream next week, do a celebration stream, and then next month we got the 1 year anniversary. So, which is going to be really fun. So the 1 year of running the channel, we're doing pretty good. So yeah, that'll be cool. We got a lot of cool stuff coming up. I'm trying to get a hold of Nate. He's probably asleep now. But yeah, guys. Thank you everyone who joined us. I definitely appreciate it. Might end it unless anybody else wants to come on or say anything. I know it's pretty late. But CFG, good to see you. I'd love to do a stream with you sometime. Me and you do a panel, just talk about whatever. But yeah, to all the supporters and everybody out there that stuck with us this long through everything, thank you so much. I appreciate it. I'm literally out on my balcony right now. So, but we thank you. We love you guys. We appreciate all the support over the past year. It's been amazing. And we're going to keep going, and I'm going to get back to full time in it. I work 60 hours a week. I'm about to be a manager at Pizza Hut, so it's fun. But you guys stay awesome, and until the next one, you take care and have a very happy Thanksgiving wherever you're at.